Hello, everyone. I'm Phoofie, and today I want to talk about something that matters deeply, not just to me, but to those of you watching. I want to talk about why your emotional support animal is not just a pet, and why anyone who tells you otherwise simply doesn't understand the profound bond you share with your companion. If you've ever had someone tell you, it's just a dog, or just get another cat, after you've lost your beloved companion, you know how deeply that cuts. It's dismissive, it's hurtful, and it completely misses the truth of what that relationship meant to you. Because here is what I want you to know clearly. The bond you have with your emotional support animal is real. It is legitimate. It is profound. And it deserves to be honored, not diminished just because someone else doesn't relate or get it. Your companion animal isn't just anything. They are the one who knows when you're hurting before you even say a word. They are the one who stays when all the humans leave. They are the presence that grounds you when the world feels like it's spinning out of control. That is not just a pet. That is a lifeline. But let me be honest with you about something that many people struggle to admit out loud. Sometimes humans fail each other. And not always intentionally and not always maliciously, but they fail each other nonetheless. What I mean by this is that they judge when you need acceptance. They try to offer advice when what you need is silence. They always have their own personal agendas, their own needs to be met, their own emotional baggage, and that colors every interaction. They even can require you to somehow perform to their expectations, make you explain yourself, and just too often they expect you to manage their feelings about your feelings. Okay, you know what? Sometimes you can, but more often, you just can't do that. And really, it's not your job. Sometimes you're just too tired, you're too hurt, you're too raw to navigate the complex dance of human-to-human relationships. And that, my friends, is where your emotional support animal comes in. Your dog doesn't need you to explain why you're crying. Your cat doesn't require you to justify your anxiety. Your rabbit doesn't judge you for having a panic attack at 3 a.m. They simply show up. They are present for you. They offer their warmth, their weight, their steady breathing as an anchor in your emotional storm. There is profound emotional intelligence in that simplicity of an animal's presence. And there is a whole lot of healing going on from being met exactly where you are, with no questions asked and no explanations required. Science backs up what you already know in your heart. When you interact with your emotional support animal, your body releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone. Your cortisol levels drop, your heart rate slows, your nervous system literally calms. But research only tells part of the story. What it cannot measure is the feeling of being completely and unconditionally accepted. Your ESA doesn't care why you had a bad day at work. They don't care if you said the wrong thing in a meeting or forgot to return an important phone call. No, they don't care about your bank account, your job title, or whether you ever got dressed and even brushed your hair today. Sure, they might care about their regular supper time, but as far as you are concerned, they just care that you are you. And humans need that kind of non-judgmental love. For those of you who have spent a lifetime feeling like you're somehow not enough, perhaps not successful enough, not social enough, or not pulled together enough, the unconditional acceptance you get from your pets feels revolutionary. It's healing, and it is the very definition of emotional support. There are moments in life when other humans simply cannot show up for you the way you need. Maybe they're dealing with their own crisis. Maybe they're geographically distant. Maybe your relationship with them has become complicated or perhaps strained. Maybe you've been hurt too many times to risk being vulnerable again. Or maybe, and this is important, maybe you have reached out before, but they just didn't get it. Maybe they offered platitudes when all you really needed was just their presence. Maybe they tried to fix what you needed them to simply witness. In the loneliest of moments, when the isolation feels crushing and the world feels impossibly heavy, your emotional support animal is there for you. Not because they have to be, not because it's their job and it's their duty they have to. No, it's because that's who they are. They curl up next to you in bed when you can't stop crying. They rest their head on your lap when your anxiety makes it hard to breathe. They follow you from room to room because they sense that you shouldn't be alone right now. That's not some animal instinct. That is true connection. And that is love in its purest form. What makes the bond with an emotional support animal so powerful? One word: trust. Your animal companion will never betray your confidence. They will never use your vulnerability against you. They will never gossip about your struggles or judge you for your fears. When you've been hurt by other humans, and of course all of you have, that kind of safe, trustworthy presence is priceless. It allows you to be fully yourself without armor, without performance, without fear. And in that safety is where healing happens. Not because your ESA is trying to fix you, but because they create space for you to simply be, to feel whatever you feel and process it so that you can heal. Your ESA is there to allow you to simply exist without having to defend or explain your existence. And that, my friends, is not a small thing. That is everything. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit like on our videos and subscribe to our channel, please. We'll be back soon with more virtual emotional support. I'm Phoofie, and I'll see you next time on the Sunshine Virtual ESA podcast.